and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be talking about the books that I'm planning to read during May. I don't have a lot of books to show you guys for this month, and there's a few reasons for that, but the main reason is because I want to get back into my writing. I started writing back in March, but then during April the owls were happening, so I decided to focus my time on reading and maybe completing my owls. I will link down the blogs for my owls if you guys are interested, but pretty much I just read a lot during the month of April. So during the month of May I do want to read, but I also want to focus more on my time on my writing, and hopefully I will also have some writing blogs for that. But with that being said, I do want to show you guys the books that I'm planning to read. I only have 4 books, so this is gonna be kind of quick. So the first book I'm going to show you guys, it's a book that I've been wanting to read since the day I bought it, and there's a funny story to this book because my edition is in Spanish. I was looking through the books in Spanish section at Barnes & Noble, I believe like the beginning of last year maybe. I don't remember, but there was a guy there and he told me, he's like, oh, have you read this book? And I was like, no, I haven't. So he told me that I had to read it. It would change my life. I will love it. It is the first book out of 3 books. So when I grabbed it, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, but I haven't even showed you guys the book. But that book is La Sombra del Viento by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. And this book has been translated into English, and I'm sure you guys have heard of it. You guys have seen it. It's called The Shadow of the Wind in English. And I have heard of that book before. And I know a lot of people here on YouTube who have read it, love it, and cry. Surprisingly, I've seen blogs when people cry. I knew that a lot of people like that book and it's a really good book, but when the guy told me about this book, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Like, this book, it's The Shadow of the Wind. It just didn't cross my mind. So I'm really excited to read this book. This book takes place in Barcelona, and our main character, it's Daniel. His dad owns a bookstore. So when Daniel turns 11, I believe, his dad takes him to the cemetery of forgotten books, which sounds so intriguing. And when you take your first trip to the cemetery of forgotten books, you're supposed to grab a book. That book is gonna become your life, your everything, you're gonna love it. So when Daniel goes into the cemetery of forgotten books, he chooses the book of The Shadow of the Wind, and he falls in love with that book. That book changes his life. Therefore, he goes out on a quest to find more books about this author that wrote The Shadow of the Wind, and then discovers that someone has been collecting the books and burning them. So all he wants to know is why he's doing that, why he's burning them, and all he wants to do is get those books back so he can read them and keep them maybe. I'm not sure, but it sounds so intriguing. That's pretty much the synopsis, but from what I've heard, there's so much more into this book. In the back of the book, it's described as a romantic historic tragedy, so it sounds like it's gonna be heartbreaking. And I'm also really happy that there's 3 books on this series kind of thing. I don't know if they were all translated into English because I've only heard of The Shadow of the Wind. I haven't heard of the rest. Like, I don't know if people continue reading the trilogy or not, or they just think there's only one. So in case they have all been translated and you have read Shadow of the Wind, there's more books, so go get them. The next book I'm going to show you guys, it's a book that I had in my March TBR, and that is Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I didn't read it during March. Okay, I started reading it and I got to page 40, 50, and I wasn't getting into the book, but then everyone has been saying that the first few pages are just hard to get through, and I think that the reason why I stopped reading it, it's because there's so much info dump in the first like 40 pages and so on, I'm pretty sure. So they say that once you get past 60 to 100 pages, you're good to go. So I'm gonna give it another shot. I'm gonna read it this month, and I'm excited to also fall in love with it. Also, my fault, I was expecting another fairy kind of thing going on. This is like an urban book. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like the books that we have gotten before from her, but I've heard that the characters are still amazing and you still fall in love with the characters, which is one of the things that I love about Sarah J. Maas. And I think that's one of the things that I didn't pick up during the first 40 pages. Like, I wasn't connecting to any of the characters, but we're gonna see how that changes, and I'm excited to give it another shot. And just staying on my lane like I always do, the next book I'm gonna show you guys, it's Queen of Shadow by Sarah J Maas. This is the 4th book on the Throne of Glass series. I am buddy reading this series with a few friends from Instagram, and this is the book that we are reading during May, so I'm excited to continue with the series. Like I said, I've been loving it. I haven't read this book, so I'm excited to finally get to this one. And the next book I have is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I need to finish the series. I'm pretty sure you guys know what this book is about. I just want to get through the 3 first books so I can finally get to Six of Crows. I know this is weird, but I'm really not interested on this trilogy. I have read this book before, and I'm gonna reread it again so I can finish the 2nd and the 3rd one. But I really want to get to Six of Crows and Kingdom of something, the 2nd of the, you know which one. I have heard that you don't need to read this trilogy first to get to the other one, but I've heard it helps, so that's what I'm planning to do. I want to read this ones, especially because the series is gonna come out soon. I don't know when, but pretty sure it's gonna come out soon, and I know the series is gonna have this trilogy and the other books together, so I think they're gonna be mixed. I'm not sure how, so I just want to get to these books so I can know the story and I can watch the show when it comes out. And I'm really excited to pick it up this month. I feel like I'm ready to finish this book again and continue with the rest of the stories. So those are all the books that I'm planning to read during May. Like I said, there's only 4 of them, but if you think about it, all of these books are 500 pages or more, so it might change. I might not read them all, but I'm excited to pick them up once I get the chance to. And they are big boys, so it's gonna take me a while to get through them. But that is pretty much all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!